Hello, today I'm going to share with you what I channeled around Matthew Perry. I have some information around Julia Roberts, some of the Friends cast, and a couple of other things my guides wanted me to share. I channel a group of cosmic beings, the consciousness grid, and the Akashic records, and high light realms, and I share messages from my cosmic team that are here to support us on our human journey. And for whatever reason, they've asked me to channel Hollywood. That's why I started this account. And I'm starting to see why. What I want to start with is Matthew Perry. And I'm going to share with you what they've asked me to share. There are some things that they are not ready for me to share yet. So I may share them at a later date once I get the go-ahead. Just kind of a disclaimer or just an explanation. Hollywood, my guides have shown me, is a little bit different animal or beast in many ways, but from a channeling perspective, when famous people go into contracts like they have, like you do in Hollywood, to rise in fame and fortune, go check out my other videos where I talk more about this, but when people sign contracts to rise to fame and fortune in Hollywood, it's a universal agreement basically that their lives aren't private. Now, when I'm channeling, sometimes I do see private life things. I don't, I'm very, very, first of all, my guides are only going to share what I'm able to share with everyone else. But then on top of that, I have an extra layer of discernment. And I really try to share things that are more on the public Hollywood side, even though they might not be public information. So that's the explanation for what's coming today. So for Matthew Perry, this is what they wanted me to share. First of all, they wanted me to share that he has previous lifetimes of using it looked like he might have been a general or someone in, I didn't go down that rabbit hole, but somebody who was in charge of multiple people, looked kind of like a military type person. And the way he used his power in that lifetime, he wanted to come into this lifetime, experience power again, but use it in a different way. Use the power for good. And what they showed me is that when he started signing contracts, when he first started signing the contracts at middle management, which is above Hollywood, which reports up to the handful of people that are ruling this planet as a corporate structure. This middle management, when they had him start signing contracts, he already struggled with like lower self-worth, not really believing in himself, which is a normal human traits. Many people struggle with that, and we're here to work on those things in many instances, or in many situations. And they said that he already kind of struggled with his self-worth. He might have struggled with depression, and etc. So when he was signing these contracts, there was this level of uncomfortable, like discomfort, signing them. And I cover some of this in other videos, like with Oprah, where a lot of times in Hollywood, they'll start out with a pretty benign contract that says, in exchange for rising to fame and fortune, you'll do these things. And it might start out like, you'll be the face of certain things that we want you to be the face of, to promote certain agendas or products or whatever, ideas to support, because Hollywood was created to control the masses when religion started failing in other systems. So it might start out small, like, okay, in exchange for us putting our energy and effort and time and energy and money into helping you out of all the millions of people who might want to raise to fame and fortune, and in exchange, you will be the face of certain things. You'll promote certain agendas, right? So that might be on the lower end of things. And then as they get their first taste of fame, it's like then the contracts get more demanding or nefarious in many instances. And they're starting to open this up for me to see a little bit more. What they're elaborating on some other things that I've seen on, or they've shown me in Hollywood, which is there's different levels of contracts. There's also different phases. The first phase of contracts, which was a long phase, they were figuring out, this middle management was figuring out how to use these people in the best way. And it looks like there's been 3 phases total. The first phase includes like all the original Hollywood musicians, it includes Britney, includes Justin, people like that. Now over time, these contracts might change and shift, right? So with Matthew Perry, as the contracts got more demanding, he started to see things, even experience things, maybe take part in some things that he wasn't comfortable with. they're saying he was a starseed and that he was here to help with the awakening. And what they're saying, what they showed me, is that there are many starseeds who have incarnated into Hollywood. Britney Spears is one. There's others that I'll share in upcoming videos. There's starseeds who've taken on difficult contracts within the Hollywood bubble, which was created out of nothing to control the masses and guide the masses. There are many starseeds that incarnated into this Hollywood creation to help with the dismantling of all the structures on the planet that have been controlling us for thousands and thousands of years. So many of them took on hard contracts. If you think about it, the most famous and the most wealthy are most likely doing the most nefarious things to continue gaining that wealth. So think about who those people might be. And in order to continue that fame, train, the contracts get more and more nefarious. Otherwise, they could create a smear campaign like they did with Ellen. They were warning her several years ago. They're starting one with The Rock, which I put in a video. They will do certain things to get you to continue to sign contracts. So what they showed me with Matthew Perry is, as he signed more contracts, he got more and more resistant. Now, what they showed me is that they showed me many things connected to Matthew Perry. This could probably be a 2 or 3 part video. Some of the other cast of Friends did not struggle as much with doing what they were asked to do in exchange for fame and fortune. They're showing me one person in particular. I'm not going to share who it is right now. I don't feel like it's time, or they're telling me it's not time, who is very businesslike about the contracts that I'll say they sign. They're very businesslike about how they sign them. It's like, oh, well, I'll have to do this in exchange for that. That's fine. I'll do that. And they keep a very business mindset about it. They kind of emotionally detach from potentially doing the things that they're asked to do that they don't, maybe some people don't agree with. They kind of emotionally detach in order to do it. Matthew Perry had a hard time doing that. And so the other things they wanted me to share is Julia Roberts, specifically. She is a light, bright soul. I haven't fully channeled her, but as it's related to Matthew Perry, she was kind of a light, bright. They have a soul contract in this lifetime. She came in, made a difference in his life, brought in this light into his life, and it was almost like a placeholder or bookmark for him to remember that there is light in Hollywood. There are good people in Hollywood that aren't maybe sucked in as deep as a lot of people who rise to fame and fortune are, who have said no to the things that they're asked to do to rise to fame and fortune, right? So he would think of her, and she was a big part in his life, in his mind. I've heard that he's talked about her in his book. I've read his book, have no intention of reading his book, but that's the other thing they talked about. They wanted to talk about, or they shared with me, that his book he was trying to, my guides are reminding me right now 2 things. He was trying to get clues out. And he was intending, he knew that 80% of it was going to be understood potentially once he was gone. And he knew that. And that's, the book I think came out last year. He knew something was coming for him, right? The time was ticking for him. And his book there were a lot of clues in his book. There also were clues on his social media. He was trying to get messages out. Most of that is not going to be revealed or be obvious for a while. And it looks like it's part of an overall plan to help start disclosing truth from Hollywood. So, he was trying to get clues out. He was trying to get people to pay attention, but a lot of it was for famous people. He wasn't trying to get necessarily, they're saying 20%-ish, get the general public's attention. It was mostly to get messages out to Hollywood. He wanted to encourage other people to start sharing truth. And so what I'm going to share with you is, I saw the headlines about, his, the headlines around his death. And I'm not going to share right now what they showed me around those headlines. But there is a lot of information around that. And that wasn't the main thing that my guides wanted to share with you guys. They wanted me to share that he's a starseed. He was here to share truth, and he's one part of an overall starseeds coming into Hollywood to help with the dismantling, to help with the overall dismantling of systems and structures that have been controlling us. It's happening from the inside out, and he was part of this. It's all the time I have. Thank you for being here. Stick around for the next video. I'll go into more detail about this. Well, everything I share is 100% channeled. I have to say it's for fun and entertainment. Thank you for being here. See you in the next video.